Okay, welcome back everybody to the Internet Nation channel. As you can see from the title, it's finally time for that long-awaited Dave update video. So it's been roughly speaking 2 or 3 weeks since we've done a video on Dave. And really the last one was just a recap. So realistically, it's been a while since we've done really anything on Dave. So, yeah, and so we're gonna be looking at what he's been up to for the past couple of weeks.
There's definitely a lot to go over, a lot of really stupid stuff. I guess I'll start off with saying the advent calendar. That's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years old anymore. I don't know. I used to get the ones with chocolates in them because that's that was for the kids. We're not kids anymore. I don't know why I should have to tell him that.
So yeah,
He
he's
doesn't know how to act. Dude, it's sad.
He's doing the advent calendar, and he's every day I see a video from him. It's literally just Christmas music in the background, and it's just overbearingly loud Christmas music, I could say.
Yeah,
and it's just the same stuff. It's, you know, really something like that, in my opinion, you should wait to edit that till the end of it. I feel like edit it all into one video. But yeah, he prior to that, he had some video of himself being shirtless inexplicably, talking about Hot Wheels. Now the Hot Wheels movie franchise is underrated or something along those lines. So I'm not quite sure what that was about. All I can say is I don't know why he was making these videos where he's shirtless. I have no idea what that was about. Yeah, on the Instagram side, I saw he had a live stream with his siblings watching the Polar Express for some reason. I don't know why that is going
on. Pirated episode of Polar Express is.
Well, yeah, I don't. Like, yeah.
Does he realize he can get in trouble for that, or is he just like?
I don't think so. Copyright issues aside, it was. I didn't watch it all, obviously, but what I saw was chaotic. Dave was yelling at his brother at one point, being like, "What?" And he got a present for his sister, but I'm thinking, like, it's not Christmas yet. So I don't know what that was all about. I really have no idea. He made a video for his blue Christmas tree. The only reason he got a blue Christmas tree was for Bluray Daves. That tells you anything.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Do we continue exploring?
Yeah.
I don't know. That guy is getting a little out of control.
He's buying magazines. I'll have to break it. He's buying magazines at the Cub simply because Spider-Man's on the cover and whatnot. It's just like
you really needed that.
Well, it's like, to an extent, I'm trying to see it. It's like it's a big movie and whatnot, but do we really gotta buy 2 separate magazines just because Spider-Man's on the cover of it? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
can you still, can you see the boat yet?
Yeah, I can see you. I was confused. Yeah, I've been able to see you.
Okay.
Alright, looks like we're heading out then.
Yep. Let's have to see if we can find the cave base. But yeah, I mean the
Oh, wait,
guy
something.
is, yeah. Dave is just crazy as ever, I guess you could say. He hasn't, in all honesty, posted like all that much since in the like 3 weeks. But I'll go over a few other points here in a second. But yeah, this is gonna be two parts because we're gonna have to see what if Dave says anything to it, and see what else he posts in recent days. But
Well, yeah,
yeah,
and I was thinking just part one out of all of our recaps will be put like part two, part three. But yeah, there'll be a part
oh
two
yeah,
instantly after this. If
oh yeah. So going back, let me look on this
was this
channel.
literally just it? It was just right over this, wasn't it? It's not even that far.
I haven't even left yet. Um,
Oh,
I was looking at Dave's channel. So 2 weeks ago, he had a video titled "Let's talk about the whole Kevin Engler situation," which was funny because our video at that time, our previous video on Dave was like a week old, and we did mention that guy, but that wasn't the main talking point of that. And it's funny because then he just randomly makes this video talking about the situation or whatever. So it was completely out of nowhere. I don't know what the whole deal with that was. The video on these. So I don't know why the Edited Nation was so pissed off. And here's what I'll admit. And we've said this before, say it again. We did overreact to it, but we had justifications for it because I saw his comment. He did instigate it because he had to leave that comment randomly on our channel. At that point, the video he commented on was completely old, and I just don't think it was necessary. And then you see he overloads his canoe and such, and it just, makes you
oh, it does
realize,
now.
yeah, more and more about the fella. But yeah, that was that. I don't, it was funny, Dave, because you were even agreeing with us to a point in that video. Um, yeah, but from there, you had one talking about your fan film, Dave, and so yeah, basically just a whole nother recap. This guy's been planning a Lego fan film. It was originally canceled in 2016, probably for a reason. I don't know if he realizes that. Um, so he's bringing that back, and he's saying he doesn't expect Hollywood to reach out, but if they did, it would be really cool and such. It's like,
They're never gonna reach out ever.
well, yeah,
I
you
don't
know,
even know why that's something you would think.
if Forest Fire Films doesn't get like a Hollywood contract, you're never gonna get one, Dave. I'm sorry. And we were talking about this in that Minecraft video. When does
Hollywood's not one person.
when does Hollywood just like the entity of Hollywood reach out to people? I don't really think that's a thing.
No.
But yeah, that was confusing. I don't know why he thinks that that's even a possibility. I think it's unrealistic goal there.
Oh yeah. Severely unrealistic. That's like me and you thinking we're gonna go viral off one Minecraft video. It's that's the dumbest thing you've ever
Yeah,
heard.
yeah. Even if, well, then it's a whole nother thing. If it his, let's just assume his fan film did decent, like in view wise. That doesn't mean your channel is just automatically gonna take off.
No.
So I don't know. I think he's set unrealistic goals with that, but yeah. And other stuff, he really has not been up to that much. I guess he's busy being a cashier at the Cub now. He hates being a cashier, but he's only okay with it. So yeah, I guess that's what he's up to. Um,
Always up to something.
he's trying to think what else. We already mentioned the Advent calendar, the Polar Express live stream.
Did we talk about how he just snapped back at his brother?
Well, yeah, we covered that briefly, but yeah, basically, so I was saying how in that live stream he did, he was yelling at his brother. So what that was, if I recall correctly, was the Eradicator said something about, what do you call a coffee with alcohol in it, or something like stupid like that. And Dave out of nowhere is like, what? Real meanly, real nastily. It's like,
Jeez, Dave, settle down.
I don't know what that's about. It's like in this thing you're talking about all this stupid stuff, Dave. Why can't the Eradicator just say something stupid?
Right?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He needs to go to anger management classes or something. That's all it took for him to snap back at him. Man. What a guy. What a really nice guy.
Well, yeah, it's funny how he can't even seem to control himself on like the stream. It's like,
Not even in the slightest. That's the worst part.
you know, I just I don't know. Everything he does, I lose more and more respect for the guy. Not to say that I had much to begin with, but you know what I'm saying. Everything he seems to do just seems to lower it somehow. Like, why are
Just
you
an
yelling
asshole.
at your brother? You know? Yeah.
Well, for no like literal reason. I get it. Siblings fight or whatever. I could care less. Whatever.
I think the whole thing is he can't
It's just out of nowhere.
control himself.
Control himself. Yeah,
Like in the
right.
stream, you know, let's say.
Settle down, Dave.
It's like, I understand that things happen, but it wasn't even that bad. I don't know. So, yeah, he really has not been doing too much, which I can argue is a good thing. Just because, like, a lot of the stuff Dave does, he seems to unintentionally back himself into a corner half the time. Just because he'll end up saying something really stupid.
Everything he says is such asinine shit. Like, severely stupid stuff.
Yeah, and here's another thing that I'll bring up again that we've talked about. And not that he's done it lately, and we've talked about this before, but I'll bring it up again. I don't understand why, how do I put it? He tries to appeal to like a mainstream audience, right? But then he also backs himself into a corner talking about controversial stuff. Like he talks about politics and religious stuff all the time.
I mean, you stay away from that, but we're not. It's not what
Oh,
this
yeah.
is about.
Well, and the whole thing is like, I wouldn't care, but it's the fact that he is trying to like be mainstream. It's like that's
Well,
not
yeah.
something. you can realistically do if you're trying to be mainstream. You know what I'm saying? It's like people people have their own thoughts on things. It's just like,
Well, and they're radical. A lot of people are very radical with their stuff.
and frankly, with some of Dave's stuff, I do agree with him. But
Hmm.
the thing is, he gets to the point where he's almost radical himself. Example I'll bring up: there should be Bible quotes between nights and Five Nights at Freddy's.
Well, that's like the stuff where it's radically stupid. That's most of all of his things.
I don't think that's, for one thing. Well, this is a whole other thing. He always says how,
It's a game.
well, yeah, that's that's the main point.
It's a game. Come
But
on.
he says it's a Christian franchise. FNAF is not. Just because Scott Cawthon is a Christian doesn't mean the franchise is. A Christian
Yeah,
franchise would be like,
that's kind of weird.
well, yeah, a Christian franchise would be like if somebody made a documentary about like stuff in the Bible. You know, that would be a Christian franchise, not Five Nights at Freddy's. It literally is about as far away as you can go from religious stuff. I don't know, you know, so I don't know where he gets that from. I really don't, and that bothers me. I know we've covered that point before, but I feel like I need to get that point across again, Dave, because like I really don't think he even realizes that. And it's
He doesn't realize a lot of things. Dave's a very clueless person.
yeah, and he talks about how his channel is a Christian franchise channel where
Christian
the stuff he
franchise.
looks at is,
It's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
well, yeah, he talks about how all the stuff he's looking at, he seems to like try a way to fit it in with faith.
Well, a lot of it doesn't even make sense.
Well, yeah,
Notice how he jumps from topic to topic all the time? Like, you can't ever stay on one topic. He'll start off
he
the video with
does.
one thing, it'll be something that you could talk about for a while, and he'll just move completely off to the next thing. He'll get sidetracked very easily. He's really good at that. It's all he's
Well,
good
it's
for in
true,
this race, getting sidetracked.
and
He'd be a good teacher.
well, yeah,
Getting
the
sidetracked all the time, no one had to do any work.
I, I think like the thing is awesome. It's like obviously there's exceptions, but it's really hard to um, do multiple things on one channel. So if I were him, how about he make like Bluray 2 for like his spiritual stuff and then completely leave that out for like the Bluray channel, you know? It would be like if on this channel I just started, you know, posting stuff about stuff that has nothing to do with what we do on here, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, you know better than that, 'cause it's pretty dumb.
Because it's clear that his main audience is like for like entertainment industry stuff, like, you know, whether it be the Blu-ray disc review stuff or the toys or whatever, just a review of movies. But then he talks about all this controversial stuff, and it's that he wonders how he doesn't have 1,000 subscribers. Is basically my point. I don't wonder why. I know why he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of reasons why. Some good, some bad. As far
I,
as the YouTube's just a pain, but you know that mainly him not getting traction is not completely on him.
well, he brings up this.
Always controversial, everything. It's like
Well, and it's
just can't be
funny.
quit over.
It's funny he talks almost like how in his mind we're like a controversial thing. Like if somebody were to bring us up to him, he wouldn't want to talk about it. But he's fine with, and I don't remember who it was talking about some YouTuber having an affair or something, and he got like 100 dislikes on that. And it's like
It's deserved.
I don't. Well, yeah, I don't. It's just stuff
And
that
he doesn't take these
shouldn't
as
be.
signs like he maybe should be taking. Like, oh, I just got 100 dislikes for talking about something I know nothing about or being ignorant and just saying stupid shit, which he's very good at. All he says is stupid shit. Literally everything is dumb in some degree.
You know,
Very hard to find things that we agree with him about. Because a lot of the things he says are very, very unintelligent things. It's just pretty much coming straight out of his ass.
you know, and another thing that I don't get with Dave is when he, and we've gone on record, we don't care. Let me just say it again, Dave. We don't care that you like spend your money on toys and stuff. The problem here is you are also supposedly paying for your rent also. And I'm just gonna go with, I have my own opinions on what the reality of that is, but I'm just gonna go with assuming you do. You literally have zero money saved up then. And
Well,
that's
yeah,
that's
that's
making
like
with
best case scenario is he has
that's
no
you're
money.
making decent cub money if this is really the case.
It's a
For
really decent cup money for being cup foods.
yeah. And yet you're not gonna have any saved up. And I think that's the whole thing. Is and we've had suggestions on how to like limit the buying of the toy videos because and we're not anybody to judge, but just from looking at them, they don't look, how do we put it, like they get that many views. You know, they again, we're not ones to judge. A lot of our videos don't get that many views, but that's the whole thing. Why don't we instead assume, let's just pretend I'm Dave, instead of buying a toy and reviewing it, why don't I just do like I don't know, movie breakdown, right? Looking at what's in the movie. That's not stuff I'm interested in. But I'm just saying, if we
Well,
want
this
to
guy's
be,
always talking about how he wants to start a family. How are you going to start a family if you can't be supported in any way? There's no way you have money saved up. There's literally like no chance unless you're getting paid like some serious cash.
yeah, I don't. He's, yeah, it's weird how he talks about that a lot too. I think, um,
Have you
but
left over there yet?
no, I'm still just looking around over here. I'm gonna be leaving soon because there's not really too much over here.
Yeah, I'm just sitting on the mainland, just waiting, killing stuff.
All right, but yeah, he doesn't. You know, all I'm saying is you can continue doing like the YouTube stuff, but I feel like he should look at it in a more like how do I save money kind of way.
Oh yeah.
Because we can't just keep buying the $80 Lego sets, in my opinion.
Well, it's not even an opinion; it's fact. You just can't. Is there ever a day he's gonna be like, he's gonna like? There's gonna be one where he's gonna be like, "What a waste of money all this was."
Yeah,
Stuff's gonna come up, and he's gonna have no money, and he's gonna be all complaining and all sad. Make a video on it, like anyone cares. Like he didn't do that to himself. I just, I just don't see how this guy's gonna succeed if he can't save money or not buy toys. I can go through a whole month without buying something stupid. I can go a whole year without buying anything that's unnecessary. It's really not hard.
well, yeah.
Maybe that's a part of like him being spoiled and just getting whatever he wants because he just goes out and spends every little penny he has. Me and you, it's not hard for us to save money because it's a very easy thing to like understand.
Well, yeah, and it's funny. This reminds me of another thing. He was like basically bragging in one of his videos about how he got the day one Spider-Man No Way Home tickets for him and his sister and friend. It's like those aren't cheap because it's a really popular thing. Those are reselling for a lot of money. You know, I don't. It's like, does that really need to be go where our money's going? I get you like the stuff. I understand that, but I just think like being out and living in this apartment, he needs to look at
Well, yeah,
ways.
I'm all about treating yourself every once in a while, but in this case, it's not. Every day's a Christmas to this guy, and it shows. His personality, it shows. Every day's Christmas.
Well,
I
yeah.
think it's every week he buys some new toy, new crap. It's literally junk, too. It's not even like cool. It's just absolute junk.
Well, yeah. And and that it really just brings the whole conversation back. It's like, I think, in my
We're
opinion,
getting
he.
very poor.
Oh man, I
I'm
think
sure his parents are pretty disappointed about that one.
right,
Telling everyone that they're poor. How fucking rude. How disrespectful. How
right,
unbelievably stupid can you be?
right.
Well, it's
Well,
only in, what was he, a freshman or something? That's like not even an excuse. I've never said that in
yeah,
my life. I would never
that's
do
not
that
an
to anyone
excuse.
if that was my case.
But it's like my point here is I think he should be saving money. I don't know. And
I agree with that.
I don't want to assume anything, but maybe he's just used to that life of luxury where I spend all my money on entertainment and then don't have any left. You know,
Yeah.
not
Well,
assuming anything.
once in a blue moon, if he ever gets his license, he's not going to be able to buy a car. He's going to have to make his parents buy him a car. And he'll probably either want something nice, or he'll get something crappy that's going to give him problems because he's got literally no money to put towards a
Well,
car. Maybe
I,
that'll be like the week he stops buying toys and then puts all that money into a car, which is a terrible idea. You got to have money for stuff that's unexpected. One's if, you know, your car breaks down and, you decide to do something with your life and move away to get a job.
well, yeah,
I mean, as crazy as that sounds, to do something with your life, but shit happens. It's like that. I know. I've been there. You need money to be able to bounce back from things. Something
well,
random comes up, you need to pay for medical bills, you're gonna have no money.
yeah. So I feel like he basically just needs to get his priorities straight. And there's no other thing I can tie it into is,
Look, I see you.
wow,
It's like a whole new world.
wow,
I could tie that with like a Spider-Man No Way Home.
oh no, yeah, that's what Dave would say. But like,
Let's get to the films.
how I don't know. I just don't know how to put it. The bottom line is, I feel like he needs to make better decisions. And here's another thing, Dave. This is why we wanted to talk to you. Was to talk about these things private. We don't, it's like if we had a private conversation, you'd tell us how much you make at Cub. It's not something that has to be revealed publicly, but just so like we have an
That's not even
idea.
something we have to know at all. It's just like, if that was to come up in a conversation.
Exactly. And there's just like a few things that like could be resolved talking privately, but he has no
Well, yeah, and at this
intent.
rate, I'm not holding back anything either. I'm gonna
Yeah,
say what I want to say.
he had no intention of doing that, and at this point, I can say that ship has sailed. It really has.
Oh, it's completely gone.
And
It's out of the question. Completely.
all I can say is Dave on that. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, all him. There's not anything to do with us in that situation. Oh, everyone wants to be a success story, but gotta know what you're doing before you can actually be something like that.
Yeah.
Dave will never be successful if he continues to waste all his money on toys. Let's say even if he could pay for all of his bills, which I'm almost certain he cannot, and buy all these toys, like it's a few a week, or multiple a week, He's having these Amazon packages roll in like he works for fucking Santa or something, dude. It's all the time.
He's
Terrible
buying
savings. He just,
candies and
well, right? Like, come
it's,
on. Like, really? Really? Do we really need candy? Look at this place.
yeah. But
Just walk the plank over
yeah, I don't know.
Tony's in here. Still
Yeah.
calls him Tony.
Huh.
Look at all this stuff. All this is coming back to us. Oh no.
But yeah, I don't know. Just there's a lot to say on the guy. It's just like I
Well, it's
just
sad to say most of it is negative things to say. There's not much positive to say about this guy. Not productive, he can't save money, he buys a bunch of stupid stuff, gets nothing out of
he
buying the stupid things. He plays with them like he's still a child.
he
Gonna
blocks
be stuck in
people.
a dead-end job that's...
He blocks people for no reason. They try talking to him.
Yeah, it's not...
We tried resolving
not good.
civilly, and we're completely shut down. Not even, we're just completely blocked, I should say, because we refuse to even entertain having a conversation.
Oh yeah,
I
I
don't know
mean
what
you
he's
can...
afraid of.
I don't know. Probably the truth of him being just not right ever. I don't know. I don't... There's a lot with that guy that's just downright awful. Like, there's a lot of things that he doesn't understand ever, and just completely stupid about it. Being ignorant to the situation, that doesn't help.
Well, yeah, and
When we
this
were trying
is
to help, we legitimately tried to reach out and help. He doesn't see it as that, but that's what it was. We were
what?
just trying to reach out and help, not to
How much life
be
advice have we given him? Just
a lot. But he's too stupid to realize it's actual life advice. You could show this to anyone, they'd be like, yeah, that's pretty good advice if they have actually had successful lives. But yeah, it's pretty successful and pretty true. Don't play with toys and spend all your savings on stupid shit, aka dumb stuff, as toys, Legos, etc.
what?
You can play with that stuff all you want. You can buy stuff when you have extra money here and there, treat yourself, like I said. Don't make this an every single day thing. This is not something that's going to happen every
Well, yeah,
single day. We can't buy toys every single day, which is like the case for him. It's every day.
but it's funny. Like they'll probably watch this and somehow find a way to take away. Well, it's okay to like Thomas said. This Dave.
He's just so clueless, and this is like what pisses me off the most, is how he's so unbelievably ignorant and
Yeah,
stupid that
it's
he
like
would come back and say something. He'll only respond to one thing in this video, and it'll be whatever he could try to defend his best, but he can't defend any of it because he's wrong.
it's like he
Straight up
doesn't
wrong.
even. He either just doesn't plain watch it or doesn't understand. I just.
Well,
They,
yeah, that's kind of the problem.
it's like
Here, is he
the
doesn't quite
Thomas
get it.
stuff. Yeah.
No one
Is
cares about Thomas
completely
anymore. It's
agree
completely
to
gone.
disagree on that, but yet, like, the last time he made a response, he had, like, a huge conversation about how it's okay to like Tom. We said
Babbling
multiple
on.
times, agree to disagree, right? How many times have we
Well,
said that?
yeah, it's like, okay, we get it, dude. We get it.
There's other issues at play here that refuse to
Yeah,
acknowledge.
that's true. 100%.
So, I don't know.
I hope the guy figures it out. I really do. I don't want to see him be a homeless guy. Well, I mean, he'd probably never do that. He'd probably just get his mom and dad to pay for everything for him for his whole life and be completely set. Hopefully he can change and figure it out. Even if, like, we just completely take off the table stuff on how we really don't think he's paying for his own stuff, aka apartment electric, Wi-Fi. I don't think he's paying for all that.
I
Even
look,
if he was, just say he was.
his Disney Plus subscription. I
Yeah.
don't think he's paying for that.
Well, yeah. It adds up fast. Okay. Let's say he just somehow managed to pay for all that. You have zero savings. Literally nothing. You have zero savings at that rate. Unless this guy's making $30 an hour. Even then, you don't have much. You need to realize as an adult, because he's not up and coming anymore. He is an adult, like we are. We know what we have to do in life, Dave. You don't. I don't know how you haven't figured it out yet. It's pretty straightforward. This isn't stuff that's hard. It's not rocket science. It's pretty
Well,
flat out given to you.
I feel like the worst part of it is if, like, you know, frankly, I do consider him a man-child. But let's just say he was a
Oh yeah.
man-child where his rich parents were paying for everything. That would still be terrible, but somehow I feel like it's worse because it's like his own money, somehow.
Well, yeah. Somehow he has that like little of responsibility that he's just wasting all of his money. It's bad either way. It's terrible. Any way you look at it, severely.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he'll take away from this. Probably just the haters are back. The haters, the
Yeah,
haters.
something extremely stupid like that. Something super ignorant and dumb. Like
Yeah,
when you have an idea about life, someone working at Cub Foods for how many years has he been working there? 4 years?
yeah. I think
Or
over
is it
3
3?
years. Over 3 years.
Over
So
3 years, even worse than my original prediction. You're not making $30 an hour. That's a dead end job. Unless you're going to be regional manager. You need to know people for that. You'll never be anything special, ever. You need to know people. If you were going to be anything somewhat serious in that, you'd have to be there for almost your entire life.
but he,
There's other jobs out there that don't require you to do as much, or be very smart in Dave's
what
case, because
it,
he's not very bright.
I think it adds more fuel to the fire when he's complaining about it. It's like, okay,
That
then
does
go
not help.
do
That's
something.
that's even like more frustrating for me is that he's complaining about like, what are you complaining about if you just like you're all right with this? You can say you're complaining. It's
You know,
really just stupid, like extremely stupid stuff.
like 15 people have left the Cub, and
Oh,
nobody's
boo-hoo.
nobody's offering me higher positions. Then
That
you
should
should
say something. That should speak volumes on its own.
look elsewhere. I don't know
Yeah.
what's so
Well,
hard about that.
I'm dedicated. My life is at the Cup Foods. It's exactly what someone with half a brain would say. And I know that's what Dave would say. I don't know if he's ever even tried looking for a different job. There's so many jobs out there. It's like I can't even express how many jobs there are. But he is so clueless and has no idea. It's unbelievable, to be quite serious.
Yeah, I think it's sad.
It's severely sad. I'm sad talking about it. It's watching someone like Dave thinks he owns the world, and then he's gonna come crashing down. It's gonna be hard. When he wakes up, it's gonna be pretty bad. Not gonna like waking
Yeah.
up from this dream.
Well, yeah, it's true.
He refuses to listen to us, and we're just trying to give him honest advice. Whatever, don't listen to us then. That's fine. I don't care. You fail, I'm just gonna laugh at you. Take that as you will.
Well, yeah, and I think
But
that's what really, like, I don't know, where he shot himself in the foot for me trying to, like, still be somewhat nice to this guy. He's like,
well, yeah, I
he,
wouldn't. I'd feel bad if he's just a random guy that like is like homeless. I'd feel bad. I don't like that there's homeless people, but when there's people like Dave, honestly, to be quite frank, they deserve to be homeless when they're that careless about what they're doing in their life.
well, yeah, and I was
They
going to
need to
say,
be like punished for it.
well, yeah, and I was going to say, like, when, we've moved beyond stuff we don't agree with him with, right? Like, he already mentioned Thomas stuff, and we're trying to give honest to goodness advice, and he just doesn't listen to any of it. Like, when he's out here simping, you know, and like he's like, I'm so lonely. I felt like
That's
throwing up.
disgusting. That's
You
disgusting.
know,
You're such a
it's
loser. Just quit
and
crying about it.
we gave advice on what to do about that. There's websites out there. There's stuff
Literally,
you can do.
he's not even that desperate. I think he's realizing slowly but surely he's like an extreme loser. I think that's the issue.
Yeah, that's
He's
probably.
finally realizing that he's not doing anything with his life, and now he's all sad. But then it's like his coping mechanism is to waste money. It's like for people that smoke. Like it's easier for them when they can just sit down and have a cigarette or sit down and smoke. That's like Dave's kryptonite in a way. Yeah, because they'll understand
But yeah, the guy just. I don't know if he's really serious about like getting into like Hollywood. He's gonna have to learn how to act. I've seen your Green Lantern fan
that.
films.
Well, yeah,
You
like
can't
actually
act, Dave.
and
I'm
like
sorry.
metaphorically, like both. Like you'll need to learn how to act as an adult and acting like
Well, yeah,
as you actually have to act. He can't do either one of those. He acts like a
yeah,
complete idiot and he's a fool. He does terrible at both of them, which is even I think the funniest part.
yeah. So I don't
I don't
know.
know. Figure it out, Dave. It's not hard. It's not.
Yeah, this is what I just still don't understand is how he's. If you're serious about that, you can't be making a fan film and just be thinking that somebody might see it. That's not.
Well, that is so stupid, isn't it?
I don't know. Start with stage acting. That's what a lot of people have to do. They don't like it, but they get noticed.
Well, that's the whole point of a job is you're not supposed to like it. It's work. I don't think he understands that. I think he likes Cub Foods because he gets to slack off all day and his job doesn't really take that much. Because it doesn't. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not saying you don't work. Your job's not labor intensive. It's pretty easy.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, if he left Cub Foods, nobody would care because his role there is so replaceable.
Well, yeah, it's not like this is a regional manager of 50 years. No, it's Dave. Oh, it's just Dave quitting. Alright, everyone back to work. Who cares? I'm so loved in the community. Are you, Dave? Are you? Or are you just saying that because people try to be nice to you? That's another thing I know you've brought up before. He thinks like
Yeah,
everyone's his best friend, but that's not the case. People are just
no.
nice to you because, they should be. That's when you get people that don't care and aren't nice to you. I don't care if people aren't nice to you. I don't care if people aren't nice to me. Big deal. Not everyone's a nice person. You wonder why?
Yeah,
Because there's just people aren't nice.
let me bring up another example with that. His quote unquote church friends I saw on there. One of them straight up said they didn't want to be involved at all or even have their likeness in his fan film. So it's like,
Yeah, that's Dave. I don't even honestly think they're like actually like best friends with you at all.
no, they were just being nice back in 2016, and now they're like, no, this guy's
Yeah,
actually making that.
it's kind of cringy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like he thinks these guys are his friends, but it's like real eye opener. They're not, and they don't care. It's clear they don't want to be a part of your stupid like thing at all. I wouldn't
Yeah,
want to be either.
it's clear that A, they either didn't care in the first place, or two, moved on. That's the thing.
Moved on is a good one. I hope they actually did move on. That's only going to benefit you in the long run.
And here's another thing just to mention again for Dave is when we were kids, we liked a lot of the things that Dave still likes, like
Oh yeah, I
Legos
love
and stuff.
Legos. I remember playing with them.
Yeah,
We grew up though.
yeah,
That's the big difference. We grew up. It's
and
not act like a child forever. That doesn't ever work. People that do that fail. And it's
what,
all over.
and I think the thing that he doesn't get with that is, I wouldn't be giving him crap for the collecting toys and whatnot if he frankly had a better financial model.
Well, Well, yeah, or this wasn't like. What was I gonna say? I really forgot what I was gonna say. It's like if this wasn't like if this was more like a hobby, like as it should be, because this isn't a hobby for him. This is like he acts like this is his
Well,
job. You're making zero money off of it. You're
he
spending
thinks
way more money than you're gonna recoup.
he thinks he's gonna actually be something on YouTube. You can't go into that YouTube with that mentality.
Thinking like that. No, that's terrible. You got to go into it having a job like everyone else. You got to go into it knowing that you might, might, might not. You
Mr.
know.
Beast never went in with the mentality he was
No.
gonna get famous. He
If he
said
did, he would have failed.
when he got to 100 subscribers, he said, "I never thought I would ever get 100 subscribers." And look at the guy now. I don't agree with that everything that guy does, but there's no denying the guy's a success. But he never came in with the mentality of, "I'm gonna be famous."
Well, yeah, and that's the disgusting side of YouTube. That there's people that like just oh, I'm gonna be the success story, and then they're homeless, and that's like something Dave. That's gonna happen to Dave. I'm almost certain if he doesn't figure out how to act.
If
You
he,
can't just act like a child.
if he really just wants the ego boost of having quick fame, there's literally YouTube channels with 100K for sale. You know, they ain't cheap. They're like thousands of dollars for the cheapest ones. But if he's like that serious just about getting quick fame, then that's something he could try, I guess.
Yeah, if he really wants to be scum, which almost at this rate he is. You don't know how to act. You're a terrible role model. These are like people like look up to Dave are people that like eventually just fail in life because they think like Dave's like a success.
Well,
And
and
he's like, nah.
that's the funny part, I think, is that he says he wants to be a role model.
It's like it's not even funny. It's the like I know what you're saying. It's not even though. It's like disgusting. Makes me sad that people are gonna like actually believe it. Like this guy's a good role model.
Like this, and I'm not convinced this guy knows how everything in the real world works. And here's the thing, I'm not claiming I do either. Here's the thing. But going out into the cold, so to speak, you get so many things to pay for. You got insurance, you got taxes, you got water bills, you
Yeah,
got
insurance ain't
garbage
cheap.
bill. You literally
It's like
all that
$250
adds
a
up.
month. It's not good.
I guarantee his insurance at least is with his family. Guarantee that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can guarantee that too. He doesn't pay for everything. Like I don't, it's like whatever. Everyone's like still carried on their family until like 25 or whatever the plan says. Which I'm
Yeah.
fine with. That's completely fine. I don't care. That's not even a big deal to me. Whatever. And there's people that don't carry insurance. Whatever. Hoping that if they do get seriously hurt, that they just die, so their family doesn't have to. It's a way to cut a corner that is life or death, obviously. But if it just kills you and you were gonna die from it anyway, your family doesn't pay anything, and you die. And then you had that extra money to spend. It's stupid, but people can do it. I don't really care if you don't have insurance. Just you better hope you die from your accident, because if your family has to pay for it, you're a pretty low life rat.
Well, yeah, and I don't think, even saying per se he pays for his apartment bill.
I don't even think that.
Yeah, no, that's the saying per se. There's so many expenses out in the real world that's unreal. I mean, I feel like if he tried like just going completely on his own, I feel as though he would be in poverty. He would probably be on welfare.
Oh yeah, trade his food stamps for like money or something. How do you turn ancient debris into like? You just go to the crafting table.
Um, isn't it the methane table? No.
I think it could be.
Oh, it might
Well,
be.
I don't think it is on this. I can't do anything with it. It's just the ancient debris, scrap things. Or not the scrap, I want to turn it into scraps and then turn it into... Or do you have to smelt it?
Oh yeah, you do have to smelt the scraps.
Okay, that makes
Okay.
sense. I was confused, because we'll be bringing all this back with us anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope Dave figures it out. I don't want him to be this just massive loser. It's almost a joke, I can say. I don't take him seriously. He acts like a child, which I don't understand how he still backs that up, where it's like, mature people are weenies too, bro. Is that... Stop and think about that for 1 second. Isn't that just the dumbest thing you've ever heard? I don't like super mature people because I find them boring because they have no character. I'm fine with you acting like an idiot every once in a while. You do it all the time. Act like idiots all the time. Whatever. But we turn that off. That's the thing. That's what's pretty cool about the whole thing. Is everyone else in the world turns it off. So they have a personality, but they don't show you the first time you meet them, unless they're super charismatic. But that would just be them. You got to be able to turn that off and not act like a child right off the bat, because that's when people start making fun of you.
Yeah.
You start to be an embarrassment to yourself, and Dave would never understand that. He doesn't.
But I don't think he gets it. It's gonna get to the point to where if he became big, there's gonna be people way worse than us. I can say we haven't.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be people calling him all kinds of stuff. People would call him actually retarded.
Yeah. And
I wouldn't, honestly. I'm sorry to say it. I wouldn't blame him. To this rate, Dave is getting to that point. If he's gonna continue to act like a child, I can see him being like a 30-year-old man that doesn't understand anything or have like an actual like job title, just be Cup Foods, and him being like broke, like Wings almost, just a complete loser.
yeah.
Honestly, I can see it. And I feel bad for saying because I don't want to, but it's just you got to figure it out. It's not optional. This is life. This is not an option.
Yeah, and I think the whole moral of the story is, and just it goes all the way back to the beginning. Update on Dave, what he's doing. I guess the point is he hasn't changed one bit. Is the point in 3 weeks?
Every single video is going to be the same. He hasn't changed. He hasn't grown up. He still acts like a complete child. Great. It's almost like we failed because like to start this off, the whole point was to like try to bring him back from the dark because he was heading in a pretty bad direction, and he still is. If he's not managing to save money or anything, that's not helping.
Well, you think if what he said like 5 years ago was true about we're getting very poor or low on money, you think he would like realize that?
Probably stop spending money on junk toys and all kinds of stupid shit like that.
And it's funny to me that he said himself that he's hypocritical in this sense, but in the Kevin Angler video, he was talking about how Kevin Angler shouldn't be so materialistic. Dave himself said that he essentially is because he's getting all these toys and stuff.
You can't ridicule people that are doing better than you. Those people are all way better off than you are, Dave. We're better off than you are. By a good long shot, because me and you know how to act. We're not children. We don't buy toys and waste our money. The money we have, we cherish it. Dave, that's not the case. Dave, money's so... I know money is just an object. Money is something that's going to get you out of a pinch if your life turns to shit fast. And it can happen at any moment. No one's your friend. Your family isn't your family. Just think of it that way. The people you think are going to be there, if you like go to the hospital and you get diagnosed with cancer, stage 3, you're going to die. There's going to be people that you want to be there that'll never come. Ever. Didn't even think about it. They're going to hear that you got cancer and be like, oh, that sucks. That's going to be the actual reaction. And that's life. That sucks. I wouldn't want that on anyone. I don't want it on Dave. I don't want it on anyone. But that's life. And this is taking the serious turn. No one wants to believe that, But that's true, and you know it. You know it. That is 100% the truth.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I like the whole thing here is it's just he
I
has
know that was a
no.
little bit of a preach, but like it's necessary to try to save this guy
Oh yeah.
because
It's just
I don't think he's coming out of it. I don't think
he
he's coming
has
back
he
from
has no motivation to change, which he should.
it. No, yeah,
But
not even a little. Everything he does, he thinks it's all right. It's not. I don't care what you do with your money, but you need to be in a better financial situation than just being a complete idiot. That does not help.
well, it's funny. It goes further than even that. It's just like as far as like he I don't remember where this came from, but I know for a fact that he's blocked and muted people and
Well, we've seen random people actually just comment and they'll be like deleted. This guy is such
yeah.
a child. It's so embarrassing to even like know this guy. I'm embarrassed that I know this guy severely. And on a different note, do you know what to do with the block of raw iron? I tried smelting it; it doesn't do anything. You have to break it down. Like
I think in the crafting table you can make it
that's
into
what I'm thinking.
iron.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say, can you turn it back into raw iron? Yeah, you can. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. There's not much to say. I could babble on about Dave because he's a pretty interesting guy to talk about.
Oh yeah. This video will be
There's a
wrapping
lot
up
of
soon,
negative
but
things to say too. Yeah,
it's
we'll be
yeah.
wrapping up. All the things that are negative about him are things that needed to be said regardless because they're all true. But it's
Yeah,
like
it's
everything we say is in one way, shape, or form the case. I almost completely forgot you needed gold to make the um, netherite ingot.
oh yeah.
Completely
I
forgot
forget
about that,
about
but I
that.
have gold in my inventory because I'm smelting all the stuff to take with us.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know, Dave. I don't want you to be some low life loser for the rest of your life. So I'm hoping you figure it out.
I don't know, when this goes back to when we wanted to have that talk, just privately.
You just
But
blew us off like we're just no one.
um so yeah, and it's funny he's like go after other people like Joey. And the funny thing is, for
Joey has
one
nothing to
thing,
do with it though. That's another thing.
yeah, for one thing, Joey has nothing to do with it. For two,
He's just trying to get our
this,
attention off.
yeah, it is, and it's funny because I don't even think Dave knows that there are indirect interactions with Joey. I don't, you know,
No.
it's I'm not gonna. Dave doesn't deserve the whole story, but since we've mentioned it in the past, I'll just give him a brief summary. Basically, this guy Neo-Roman Empire was asking us basically if we had any dirt on Joey, and
And we did.
yeah, he called people you know uh, I guess you could say homophobe,
Gay slang,
yeah,
slang
slurs
terms
and
starting
all
with
that
an
slang,
F.
yeah, and we did, and at that point we wanted to we reached out to Joey to do an interview with him, and that's kind of why we gave this guy dirt on him, because we felt kind of betrayed by Joey. And here's another thing I don't think
He
Dave
just
realizes.
completely gave up on us. That was pretty sad.
Yeah, Joey at his height, Skillful Gram 03 was his Instagram, had 11.3k followers. That's way more than
You
You
got one on there by
or
chance?
yeah, I get some. And then eventually, I'm sure we contributed in some way. I know there was people. Um, he said something about like people selling stolen Transformers was wrong or something, and people were giving him stuff for that. But I think in some way, shape, or form, I think we contributed to Joey quitting because he quit Instagram, and it's not something that we're
That
happy
wasn't
about.
like our intent. And like honestly, we reached out and asked.
Yeah, we asked, and even this year, at some point, I don't remember when it was. I asked Snarkvard, Joe's
Hmm.
girlfriend, if he had any intention of coming back, and the answer is no. So it's just like the point I'm trying to make with bringing Joey into this is we've already dealt with Joey, um, and you know, there's no real good way of putting it, but if that's such a small thing as telling somebody what Joey did is enough to contribute to him quitting, then I don't really, you know, I don't know what's in store for you, Dave. I don't mean want it to sound like a threat. I know it's not what it's starting to sound like that. It's not what the intention is, but it's just like if somebody with 11.7 or 0.3K or whatever it was crumbles like that. And obviously we've talked about this, Dave. We know Joey. He's kind of a pussy, but you know, it's
Severely,
just
definitely. We missed the guy,
yeah.
but it's like
I
I
don't
just
want
don't get
this.
it. I don't want it to happen now.
Yeah, my point is I don't want this to turn into a Joey Skillful Graham situation, but
Well, yeah.
and really, and this is what I can say and circle back is yes, Joey said naughty words, but I guess one way or another that's been dealt with already. That's you know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and it's sad too because that was like Joey could have been like he could have been almost he was almost at the point where he could have made money off of that.
Well, definitely,
You know, he wasn't, and
100%.
he was gaining tens of followers a day, and that's the thing,
And
tens if not hundreds a day. Literally, it was a lot.
he
There was days where he's jumped up like 500 in a day. I remember us talking about that a while ago. Like 500 in a day followers. That's pretty good
yeah,
for
and
just
then
11K. That's pretty
just
good.
a bit of stuff coming out. Like I said, it wasn't just us. There was people angry about him taking sides on this Transformer stuff, whatever. But
Yeah.
just that little bit of, uh, I guess we can use hate. A little bit of hate on him was enough for the guy to just completely quit one day. And I don't want
Yeah, and
that.
no one wanted it to be like that. That's the thing. No one
Uh,
wanted that. Shit happens. I get it, but that wasn't the intent of it all. It was never to be that. It wasn't supposed to be severe like that, but it ended up getting worse. Some people can't take the blow, and those people are weak because that wasn't anything serious. Could have been a lot worse than that.
well, yeah, and I remember asking Neo Roman Empire, um, if if he said anything like about quitting, and he told me, who knows, you know, this is some random guy, but he told me that Joey said he just couldn't handle it anymore, the pressure of stuff, and he got sick of uh, posting stuff. It sounded like to the point he just wanted to be done. Like this was the last straw, it seemed like. So if that's the case, it's like, you know, I can say that was stupid on Joe's part. But
Missed the guy on Instagram every day.
yeah.
I would always wake up to some stupid shit, and it was so funny.
And,
Whatever you'd post, it was just something, it became a part of your daily routine, right?
yeah.
But then it was at a point where it was like it disappeared, and you really do miss it. I dearly miss it. If I could
Yeah.
go back and just change that, if I could do anything about it, I would.
Well, yeah, it's like
I missed the guy. It was
yeah,
nice to wake up and see something from Joey every day. He was our classmate, our
yeah,
friend at a point.
yeah. If when it comes down to it in retrospect, should we have gave some random guy on the internet parts on what Joey said? No. But at the same time, Joey was kind of being a dick. So
Yeah,
that's where I bring it back is, you know, it's you gotta look at how you're treating people. I think with that it was just Joey being extremely ignorant and arrogant.
he was
It's like
being pretty rude. It was pretty sad.
we we asked him about it doing an interview. This was way back. This was way back in the day, like in early, really like in the beginnings of the channel, and
Yeah, a
he
long time ago.
he pretty rudely said, "I'm not interested in doing that." And it's like, whoa,
Jeez, Joey, we're good friends with you. Just gonna drop us off like that? That's pretty bad. Come on, man.
and then this, the guy's like saying, if anybody has any dirt on this guy, and we were pissed off. So, we
We had a right to be pissed off. Like, we do have a right to make fun of Dave and the stupid shit he does. We have an extreme right to that. Because he didn't treat us very good. Especially just by us saying, what did we say when he blocked us? It was just like a recap, because it was been like a few minutes after we talked about that guy.
yeah,
We brought him up, and just shit hits the fan fast, I guess.
yeah, we were blocked.
Guy
But
went crazy instantly. It's like, holy fuck, settle down.
well, I think the funny thing is that you know, what am I saying here? Dave, I can say, is in a lot of ways worse than Joey, and I compare the two a lot because they both are man-child. They both like toys.
Severely.
They both
I
they're
like Joey
big
more than I like
babies
Dave.
when something goes the wrong way. Yeah, I agree. And
At least Joey knew how to act. Other than like the N-word situation, I don't know what that was all about.
yeah, I don't know.
I don't agree
I
with
don't
that.
remember personally him saying that. He might have. I don't remember. All I
Yeah,
know
he
is
could. I
about
don't really
the
remember,
F
obviously.
word
Well, yeah.
in reference to Ricky. It's not, you know, I remember. But yeah, I don't know what that whole situation is about. But even if true, I don't think there's realistically anything to worry about. I don't think Joey's a racist or a homophobe. I just think he has a habit of using language he shouldn't, which in high school is understandable. But coming into the real world, it's like,
We can't be doing that.
yeah. And that's a whole other thing. We could ramble upon that for hours and hours, but on the
Oh
same
yeah.
same note, we don't have to be like Dave and not say
Well,
any.
The Dave problem here is he doesn't shut up about the stuff.
Well, yeah, he's like, I'm not gonna swear about this. And
And
it's
then he
like,
swears, always so upset like a baby. He's ready to start crying like a child. It's like, oh, okay, settle down.
Yeah. And, I'll just say right now, I apologize that these videos get long, because they all do. All of them do.
Oh
But
yeah.
you gotta understand that there's just...
There's a lot to talk about when you're talking about these idiots.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Bottom line is, figure it out, Dave. Bottom line. I mean, me and you could care less at this point what he has the responses, because he always has just the dumbest responses, if any. I could care less if he didn't do anything, because the updates are coming out regardless. But
Yeah, at this point...
he'll just give us content if he responds at that point. That's really
Yeah,
what it is.
it's true. At this point, like, if Dave reached out to me to do a private call, I don't know that I would do it. I really don't.
I would try to talk you out of it, because I don't think he's at the point where he deserves it anymore.
Yeah. I don't like...
After all the shit that's been said, I just don't think it's an option. As much as I would want it to be, I don't, I don't think he deserves it. I really don't.
But yeah, the funny thing is he never would, because he always thinks he's right, no exceptions. That's the funny part.
Literally no exceptions.
He's always in the right.
Oh, yeah.
What are you gonna
He
do?
doesn't agree with us about anything, even if we have, like, really good points. At first, it's like, I think we, like, legitimately made him super mad, and he was just like, yeah, I'll make a response video with you guys, like, looking back on it. I think we legitimately made him mad over, like, the stupidest things. It's like, he's just such a child.
And isn't it funny how...
Terraforming.
Yeah. It's funny how, he was, like, nice enough in the live stream we did with him. Yet, we talk about him inexplicably in a Spider-Man costume. And it's enough to get blocked, I guess.
Oh yeah, it was instant.
Whatever.
Settle down, don't gotta take everything so serious.
Yeah.
It's like a point where being, having a childish mentality is fine, but you can't always be a child.
You can't always think you're right. Even if in the moment that's what you think, after thinking about it for a while, you can't think you're always right. We don't, try to what you may believe, we don't believe we're always right.
Well, there's points where me and you are like, well, that might not actually be the case.
Yeah. The
and
thing
we do, like,
is...
the whole, like, you paying your own bill things, that's not a completely, like, we have no clue, obviously. But we have an idea, based on a lot of evidence that points to that not being the case.
It goes all the way back to why can't he live in his own house? He was forced to move out.
Yeah,
that's some, I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on. But that's not normal, that's all I can say.
Not in the slightest.
And I think
sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Another thing is, they'll go as far as saying he's special needs. But he won't tell anybody what special needs he has.
Didn't he say something in a video once?
The most that I remember him saying is he had severe ADHD. That's the most I remember him saying. I have to go back and look, but it seems like he's what's this per se? He had autism or something. He's afraid to say that. If you did say that, then you would have a better.
You'd have a lot of better argument, and we'd definitely take it a little bit lighter on you, because then I can see why you don't understand.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're right. You're not. And if you were autistic, you need to have someone helping you with this stuff, because you're clearly not very functional. If that's the case, you're better than most, but you're not I don't think good enough to live on your own. I don't think you're responsible enough and know how to act.
Well, yeah. Well, it's the funny thing is I don't know because Joey had mild autism and he seemed, at this rate I can say he seemed
At
more
the age of
normal than,
8,
it's a whole nother
that says
story.
a lot.
He
Autism at
got
the age of 8.
autism.
Yeah,
He,
that's a story. But Joey will be a Tales of the Nation for sure.
definitely, definitely.
He has to be. That guy is something else. Miss Joey. If he ever sees this, please come back. Fucking A. Miss that guy.
Yeah,
Whatever though. Shit's always gonna be a bastard.
yeah. What are you gonna do? We'll end it like in a second here, because it's
Yeah.
already been going on for too long. But just to sum it up again, don't be a child, and don't have a childish mentality. I think that sums it up pretty good. You can say mature people are weenies all you want.
The mature people are the ones that are gonna be successful. I don't, and that's not even like, oh, whatever, cry about it. You know, you're stupid, but that's true. It's just fact. That's how life has always been. We go back to the first people. The first people couldn't act like children. They couldn't do the things we did. Me, you, or anyone else. Those people back then couldn't act at all like what we do. Anyone in the world couldn't act like how they were. You wouldn't survive. You know, even in like medieval times, you couldn't act like a child. Otherwise, they would either like kill you outright, or think you're like special, and they would kill you. They'll, like throw stones at you and stuff. It's disgusting.
Yeah,
Like the jokesters were like the actual clowns, like the comedians for like the kings and queens. If they weren't funny, they didn't make it.
yeah.
Their living was just them living in the palace and getting made fun of.
Yeah, I think all I can say is figure it out. That's been said in every video just about, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
100% true.
it's never changed.
And so yeah, that's gonna be the update on where Dave has been. Nothing has changed whatsoever. It's sad. I was somehow hoping that it would be a change, but obviously that's way too optimistic. Alright, end it here. Catch you guys in the next one. He'll stare